What is Micromastery? Why is it worth learning about? Today, we will discuss the book Micromastery. This book is unique as it introduces a concept that challenges common beliefs. Even if your interest only lasts for 3 minutes, that's enough to learn a new skill. This idea is quite different from what we usually hear. Typically, we believe that to master a skill, you need to start with great enthusiasm, practice diligently, spend a lot of time, and be disciplined. This is what we've been taught since childhood, to be persistent, diligent, and consistent. There's even the 10,000-hour rule that has been popularized in recent years. However, the author of this book argues that the reason we often fail to learn or persist is due to a fundamental misunderstanding of learning. We think the process of learning something new is too difficult. The author of this book, Robert Twigger, graduated from Oxford University with degrees in politics and philosophy. He is a writer and an adventure traveler with a wide array of interests, such as becoming a street photographer, baking bread, performing 180-degree turns while driving at high speed, woodworking, learning Japanese, and making shirts. Amazingly, he has learned to do all these things. So, how did he manage to do it? The author has summarized a method called Micromastery. He even gave himself an interesting title, Lifelong Practitioner of Micromastery. Next, I will break down the book into 2 parts for you. Part 1. What is Micromastery? What is its significance? Part 2. How can you achieve a Micromastery? Now, let's start with what Micromastery is. Notice, this term is quite peculiar. How should we define Micromastery? It neither means you can't do something, nor that you have mastered it. It is different from dabbling or being a jack of all trades. For instance, writing a novel is not just about stringing words together. Archery is not just about drawing a bow. These would be considered dabbling, where you only grasp a part of the skill. Micromastery refers to the ability to complete a minimal viable skill loop. For example, in writing a novel, you might not understand how to write every genre or master every step, but if you can conceive your own story and present it to others, even if only a few people read it, you have completed the minimal viable loop for novel writing. Similarly, in archery, regardless of your accuracy, if you can draw, aim, and shoot, you have completed the essential loop. Micromastery is about reaching this minimal viable loop. Now that we know what Micromastery is, we need to answer another question. What is the use of Micromastery? Why is it worth our attention? Many might think it merely satisfies your curiosity by letting you try various interesting things, but it's more than that. Do not dismiss this book as a superficial skills guide teaching you how to draw, make shirts, or brew beer. Reading this book, I felt strongly that Micromastery is not just about satisfying curiosity. It's a courageous life attitude. Why Micromastery matters? I don't know if you have noticed, but our parents' generation seems to have a wide array of skills, while each subsequent generation appears to have fewer life skills. This isn't just because our generation is lazier. It's due to the increasing specialization of society. Almost every task now has a specific profession, freeing up our time. For example, there are professional organizers, toy repairers, dog walkers, running companions, and even professional negotiators. This growing specialization has 2 implications. On the one hand, it means the world is developing positively, making our lives more convenient. On the other hand, it means our thinking and mindset are increasingly confined, making it harder to master new skills. When trying to learn a new skill, these specialized professions tell us that professional tasks should be left to professionals, implying that you can't be as skilled as they are. Over time, This narrows our perspective, as mentioned by Charlie Munger in Poor Charlie's Almanac, where he describes the man with a hammer syndrome. To someone with only a hammer, everything looks like a nail. This book aims to help you break down these mental barriers through micromastery. Superficially, micromastery helps you learn new things and use your brain more, but it fundamentally represents an optimistic approach to self-improvement, freeing you from societal constraints. You can view the world with childlike curiosity without self-imposed limitations. If you meet such a person, even if you're not familiar with them, you will likely admire their energetic and adventurous spirit. Changing perspectives, micromastery might seem like acquiring small skills, like wall building, bike repairing, or woodworking, which may not seem significant. However, what if a person's life is spent this way? You'll find that micromastery is like building a lottery system for your life. Each small skill is like a lottery ticket, which you never know when it might pay off with significant rewards. For example, Steve Jobs mentioned in his Stanford commencement speech that the things he did out of curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless. Jobs dropped out of college and started attending a calligraphy class out of interest. This experience, which seemed unrelated to his future, influenced the typography and design of the first Mac computer. It was the first computer with beautiful typography and spacing, which later contributed to Apple's unique design ethos and a loyal fan base. Jobs said that in college, he couldn't connect the dots looking forward but could only do so looking backward, realizing how everything fell into place. Similarly, Nintendo's early co-founder Gunpei Yokoi, who graduated with a degree in electronics, enjoyed tinkering with various toys. His inventive spirit led to the creation of Nintendo's first hit product, the Ultra Hand, a toy that became wildly popular and helped the company transition into the toy industry. Such examples abound. Nobel Prize-winning surgeon Alexis Carrel, who mastered sewing by helping his mother, later applied these skills to revolutionary surgical techniques. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Luis Alvarez used his early skills in technical drawing and carpentry to build innovative experimental apparatuses. These practitioners of micromastery distinguish themselves by not focusing on the immediate utility of a skill, but by expanding their capacity to learn and grow, making their lives more interesting and rewarding. As a metaphor here, life is a long run, and its meaning lies in trying different approaches and redefining what running means. Part 2. Now, let's figure out how to achieve a micromastery. Many of us may have experienced being enthusiastic about something only for a short while before giving up. How can we make the most of this short enthusiasm to achieve a minimal viable loop? The author discovered that to achieve micromastery, you must start with something small and specific. The joy you derive from these small achievements can ignite incredible learning potential. The limited nature of micromastery helps maintain interest in the world. The book outlines 4 key points: finding entry techniques, obtaining background support, creating clear rewards, and establishing repeatability. Let's explain each one. First key point: find entry techniques. Identify the core of the skill to avoid quickly depleting your initial enthusiasm. Traditionally, we think of entry techniques as learning from books or theories. However, this book emphasizes starting with practical experience. Entry techniques are about starting with something you can do, even if it's imperfect. For example, world-class medieval instrument maker Alexander Hopkins struggled initially but started by imitating pictures and learning through practice, gradually improving his skills. Many people give up because they start with the basics and theory, leading to frustration. Finding practical entry techniques allows you to quickly achieve small successes, encouraging continued practice. For instance, new drivers learn parallel parking through specific techniques and markers rather than mastering the theory first. Similarly, Public speaking can start with honestly expressing thoughts and feelings, gradually building confidence. Second key point, obtain background support. Create an environment that supports your learning. Suitable equipment, surroundings, and supportive people can enhance your focus and dedication. For instance, a friend of mine learned guitar by investing in a high-quality instrument, which motivated him to practice regularly. Background support also includes creating conducive environments, like changing your phone's language settings to learn a new language or setting up multiple practice areas for convenience. Third key point, create clear rewards. Receiving positive feedback motivates you to continue. If you don't see results, you're likely to give up. Find ways to apply your new skills and see tangible outcomes, whether through social media, feedback from friends, or teaching others. For example, the author found motivation by showcasing his street photography in various forums and receiving feedback, creating a positive reinforcement loop. Fourth key point, establish repeatability. Micromastery must be repeatable, showing continuous improvement. For instance, the author practiced drawing everyday objects in different settings, observing his progress and increasing his confidence and observational skills. By setting specific times and repetitive patterns, you can overcome self-doubt and notice your gradual improvement. In summary, Micromastery teaches us that learning doesn't require massive time investments. Through small beginnings, we can continually rediscover the endless possibilities life offers. So, why not give it a try? Finally, my personal takeaway from this book is that the author's ultimate goal is not to make us jack of all trades, but to instill a positive learning attitude and spirit. As the book states, pessimism is a liar that distracts us from participating in change. Micromastery can combat pessimism, helping us achieve meaningful change. At some point, you might feel frustrated with life's setbacks, but you'll remember the small skills you acquired and the experiences you had. So, never miss any opportunity to achieve micromastery in life, as these seemingly trivial skills might turn out to be your lucky numbers in life's lottery system. That's the essence of this book. You can click the description below the video to find the link to the book. Welcome to read it. You can also share this book with your friends. If you like the content of Daily Book Dive, click the subscribe button to stay updated. Your encouragement helps us continue bringing book essence to our community. Congratulations, you've finished another book.